I'm Chantelle Hale. I'm the CEO and Education Manager for IT Masters. We deliver online postgraduate qualifications along with Sturt University, and they have industry knowledge embedded into them. I'm having a coffee today with Elisha, the author of Digital Woman, and her new book is being released on the 26th of October. She is one of our industry mentors that we use to deliver our courses. Elisha is the CEO and founder of EB Digital, a software dev and digital agency. ElishaBooth.com, consultant and educator. And now she is the author of a new book called Digital Woman. She has IT and marketing qualifications, including an MBA. She has 25 plus years experience in tech and digital within corporate, e-com, startup, retail, and software. Elisha is a supporter of women in tech, digital, and leadership in STEM, and a passionate runner and a qualifier of the Greek Olympics with a 3 hours, 11-minute marathon. Okay, Elisha, I've got 5 burning questions to ask you in 5 minutes. Tell us about the story of Digital Woman.
Thanks, Chantelle. Really happy to be here, and thanks very much for your interest in Digital Woman. And thank you for supporting the book launch, which is excitingly next week on Tuesday on LinkedIn, and then the following day at QT in Sydney at 6 p.m. on the Wednesday, the 26th. Yes, so I'm really excited about the book, Digital Woman. It's my first book. It's been a bit of a journey, a bit of a self-transformation journey. And really, if I was to summarize it in a couple of sentences, it's really a definitive guide for time-poor women who are looking for inspiration and perhaps may feel a little bit lost since COVID, wanting to find their mojo again. And it also kind of tells about my story and how I've overcome adversity and been successful. It's also about hope, and it's about confidence and motivation that women can actually have it all. They can have a family, they can have a career, they can have a education, and they can really find true fulfillment, by putting themselves first often and having a really good work-life balance. So I will say that it hasn't been easy, and I've certainly challenged myself over the years to overcome things like burnout or gender bias and workplace challenges, which we all experience from time to time. But I've really come out the other end, and I felt like I really wanted to provide a message for other girls and women, particularly in tech and leadership, that may currently find it a little bit challenging at the moment, or may just be lost and looking for a bit of an energizer book and a self-help book to help them on their journey. So really, it's a very, I guess I show vulnerability in my storytelling. I don't share everything, I don't overshare, but it's a good, I think, blend of my personal experience in life and life as a single parent, and also as a professional female and leader in tech.
Great. So why did you write this story?
Really to inspire women. Often, you see women just battling, the hustle and the juggling, and we all just try and handle it. And I think there's been quite a movement in the last sort of 5 years that I've noticed, because I pretty much did it in silence, where women are really banding together and realizing that it's okay to juggle, and that you're among other women and men that are really just trying to survive and to also live a fulfilled life. And obviously COVID, really has overemphasized that need to really support each other and to be more transparent of their real person life and blending that into professional as well. So you see things like different flexible working conditions. I've been doing that for about 20 years, but I'm really happy to see some of those changes. There is a long way to go, and one of the reasons why I wrote this book is that the gender bias and increasing number of women in tech and leadership is still a massive issue. And part of that is to do with women as well, and the ability to speak up and to be heard and to support each other. And so there are quite a few stories around that piece, and a few pieces of research that I have done. So I'm really looking to make a difference, and I'm looking to work with organisations that really want to shift the dial in that particular area, because it still happens. And a lot of organisations say they're doing it on the one hand, but I'm really wanting to facilitate a digital woman tribe mentor program, for example, or a program that can be utilised in different organisations globally. So that's what I'm hoping to do through the book.
Great. So I had the pleasure of being a reviewer for your book. It was really great reading your book and hearing your voice come out. I loved how you talked about supporting other women in tech and how really important that is. And I really loved how unapologetically confident you were in your abilities. Women so often feel they have to equivocate about their talents and hard work, but you know your strengths, you know you've worked hard to be where you are and to learn what you've learned and achieve what you achieved. And it was really great to hear you say it and to read your words on that. What's your favourite part of the book and why?
Yeah, look, just on the self-confidence piece, like we all suffer from imposter syndrome, and from time to time we blend through fixed mindset, growth mindset, and I've developed self-transformation mindset in the book, and I talk about that framework. But I guess the self-belief mantras are really important. That's what you enjoyed in the book, so it's really good to hear that. So self-confidence, a sense of feeling that you are special and you've got something to contribute. Being fearless is something that's really hard to do, to be honest with you. It may look like I'm fearless, but I really, building up to that, I really just feel the fear and I do it anyway. And, as I mentioned before, the service and transformation mindsets is really like delivering on what you're being fearless about. And that is also quite challenging. So I guess it's something that I've struggled with and something that I still do struggle with, but I do refer to that often, just to bring up that confidence a little bit more and to speak up if you don't agree. And I think that's really important for young girls, certainly to learn from that, from the older leaders, and to see that in the workplace that a woman is speaking up. And for men to understand that women have a voice in the business and they have a seat at the table. So that was really important for me to communicate that. And, self-belief is all about challenging the status quo, speaking up, even though you might fear to be judged, and learning fast when you don't speak up well, and just going, I need to do that better, and just accepting that's okay, and stop being so hard on ourselves as well. I think the other part of the book that that's a bit controversial because of the title is the shit show. And I created a law. It's the law of shit show returns, which is very much like an economic law of diminishing returns. And essentially, it's a bit of a play on words, but essentially, it was a point where I was really burnt out, and I was diagnosed with cancer. I was overworking, and when I had the cancer diagnosis, I just sort of stopped and I realized that I was really dreadfully unhappy and unfulfilled. And it was a good and bad moment, because I really thought, well, the amount of time, effort, sacrifices that I'm putting into work, I'm really not feeling loved, included, I'm not feeling supported. And, I'm just not really, I don't know what my purpose is anymore. I'm just like this digital machine just churning out different, money or a project. And yeah, I just felt like it was really time for me to sort of stop and take stock. And what I'm trying to do in the book is to avoid the shit show return, in terms of getting a diminishing return, by seeing the signals. Like it took me 10 years to burn out. And, I mentioned before that I'm a single parent and all of those sort of factors. And really it was just an amalgamation of all those things, and just being completely exhausted, a little bit overweight and unfit, and just mentally exhausted. So I've got the exit the shit show set of stages that you can take if anyone out there is feeling like they are burnt out. But essentially, that's my favorite part of the book, and obviously the programs that I'm wanting to run with regards to gender diversity and building confidence in women as well. So definitely with you on that one as well.
So what are you doing to launch the book, and what's next?
Oh, thanks for asking. Yes, I'd really love. I'd like to invite anyone who's interested in women in tech and leadership and making a difference, so, or interested in that topic. So that could be students, graduates, obviously females and men. I don't want to exclude men because they're all part of the movement as well. Senior female leaders are really, I'm really interested in as well, and organisations to help me facilitate what I think is a really a very hot topic in terms of increasing the number of women in tech. You know, women under 35, there's about a 60% exit rate at that point within engineering. So we really need to change the game. The good news is that this book is well timed, even though I didn't time it, and there is an awareness. So we just need to shine the light on it a little bit more, and that's what I'm hoping to do. So at the online launch on, I think it's the 25th, Tuesday the 25th of, which is next Tuesday, on LinkedIn, I'm going to be talking more about some of the other topics in the book. And I'm going to be making an announcement. So Chantelle, you've got exclusive rights to that at the moment. I'm going to be offering 2 mentorship programs to female entrepreneurs or females in tech, or someone wanting to change their career to tech for a 6-month period. And I'm also offering a website, that's what my business is, to develop it end-to-end, which is worth $10,000 for a female charity or a startup female entrepreneur. You know, obviously you've got to send through why you would need a website and all that sort of thing, but that's the 2 things that I'll be doing next Tuesday. And at the actual launch, I'll be calling on other women that have stories to tell, whether that's their life story or specifically in business, to co-author a new book called Digital Woman Tribe. And then the 4th one is really pledging that I will put together a program for organisations, with organisations and universities, that changes the game with regards to women in tech and digital and STEM, and how, you know, a program that we can game change. So if you think about Michelle Bridges or a 12-week challenge, weight loss challenge, it's the same sort of thing. Or if you think about work health and safety, it's a program that is baseline for any organisation. So I need organisations and other female leaders to help me in that pledge, and I'll be setting up QR codes at the actual event. So do come along to QT Sydney on the Wednesday the 26th, and if you can't make it, obviously if you're overseas, outside of Australia and Sydney, then please come along. I'll put a link in this post. Come along to the event, and we'll have a good chat.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Chantelle. And thanks everyone for listening. And thanks very much for your time, Chantelle.
Thank you.
Thank you.